Coming up.
I absolutely hated it. I can't tell you how much I hated that.
It's like warmth without being too warm.
Get off now.
I'll do my typical panto then.
Oh, no, she won't.
A light here for how do you say that?
Got carried away there. I was so excited about my microphone.
You sound exhausted.
I see no reason why not.
That just is my worst nightmare.
Transgression into panto.
You have to get the timings absolutely right to get the humour in.
I'm quite envious of you.
Don't adhere to the punctuation.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That, sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk. It's the show dedicated to anyone who's ever had to read a script out loud in front of a microphone. And here, got carried away there. I was so excited about my microphone.
Tell,
Sorry.
yeah.
Here is my co-host, Mark Rice.
Well, hello. In front of my microphone.
In front of your microphone. And today's fun fact about Mark, and this will give you a clue as to what time of year we're recording this.
Indeed.
Today's fun fact is that this year he has completely white Christmas decorations.
Indeed, and at the time of recording, I put them up last weekend and got a real Christmas tree, and they're all white, but white tinsel is a devil to find.
I bet it is.
But I did find some, and it's all good.
It does look beautiful. You gave me a little walkthrough on video, didn't you? And it does look gorgeous.
Well, my co-host is Sam Boffin, and her fun fact is that she always cleans her teeth before any recording, so recording anything. So you're minty fresh for us right now.
I am minty fresh,
Nice.
You see. That's my Christmas gift to you.
Well, thank you so much. Well, of course, we also have a special guest, and this week it's Emma Hignett. Hello, Emma. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hello. Teeth clean as well. I do the
Nice.
same.
Oh, good. Do you
news.
do the same?
I do.
Oh, that's good to know.
I might have to start all these new traditions for 2024.
Minty fresh.
Minty fresh.
Emma is a former dancer, a former radio host, a former TV weather girl. Dun, dun, dun.
So all these things I've given up along the
All
way.
these things you've done. Sod that. I'm not doing that anymore. Currently, she is a voiceover artist. She also has the accolade of being the voice of London's buses and the Elizabeth line. That's my local line.
Indeed, and so anyone in London will know who you are.
Yes, yes.
Amazingly, though, it all happened because of a dancing job in Mexico. She went out with a Lancashire accent, spent 9 months with a bunch of Southerners, and came back RP, or at least able to do RP. Anyway,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah, it was true. It's true. It's absolutely true. They just took the mick out of me.
Oh.
I literally came back with a different accent. But my sister says that, because I moved back up north in about 2006, and my sister used to listen to me on the radio at that time, and she said, like, within days, my accent was slipping back to where it had come from.
So, Emma, have you got a fun fact for us?
Well, I thought I'd do a festive one for you.
Okay, good idea.
That, if we go back 22 years.
Ooh.
The last time I did professional theatre, which I didn't do that much, I was a character called Clara Voyant
Nice.
in Panto in Cardiff at the New Theatre in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And Snow White was played by Linda Lusardi.
Nice.
Oh, Linda. I love Linda Lusardi. She's in Detectorists and all sorts.
Yes, she is. Absolutely.
She's lovely. She is really,
Is
really
she?
lovely.
I bet she is, yeah.
Sam, I'm glad that Emma has brought panto into everything.
Me too. Because let's have a look at the first script of the show. There's a clue there. And ask, how do you say that?
Play How Do You Say That? It's behind you. Yes, we're in Panto land because I've brought in a Panto script. Because,
Hooray.
Sam, much as I wasn't in Panto last year, I was in Panto last year.
Tell me why you were in Panto last year, Mark.
I played Giant Bone Crusher in Jack and the Beanstalk down in Barnstable. But it was all recorded. I did it in my booth.
Oh.
So I have brought part of the script for Giant Bone Crusher.
You have, haven't you? I'm looking at it now.
So basically on stage, you saw a giant foot, but you heard Giant Bone Crusher do his lines.
Right.
So this has intrigued me, this
Okay.
script, not least because my instinct says, not that there's never only one way to do a script, obviously, but because it's got a rhythm to it,
Yep.
and because they're words we've heard before
Yep.
many, many times, presumably the temptation is to do exactly that. Would you say that was true?
The director did want it a specific way and the way that you would imagine a giant. So I don't think we're too far out from that. But I can tell you that this giant is not the cleverest giant. That might add a little bit to it.
Okay. I'm just thinking, shall I just do it in the way that everybody would expect me to do it? Or is there something else I can bring to it? Well, I'll do my typical panto.
Oh,
then.
excellent.
Right then, okay.
Oh, no, she won't.
Oh, yes, she will.
Oh, yeah, I'll do something. These words have never left my lips before. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I hear the sound of too much fun. Evil so greedy, pay you must, or I will crush your bones to dust. Oh, greedy! I want my money! Fee, fi, fo, fum. Bring me some peasants to fill my tum. Fee, fi, fo, fame. I smell the blood of a Devon dame. I will make our dolly scream when I slap her on a scone with clotted cream.
Oh, no, she won't. I like that. You brought Giant to me.
You sound exhausted.
You do.
I absolutely hated it. I can't tell you how much I hated that.
I think that's fine. I mean, you absolutely brought the character that we wanted. What I probably should have said was none of these lines are together. There are other lines of dialogue between them. I probably should have mentioned that. I've just kind of given you 7 lines.
I assumed they were doubles each time.
No, not so much. Not so much.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make more sense now?
Yeah. I mean, that just is my worst nightmare. I have to say. Yeah, I don't mind evil characters. I don't mind anything like that. But I just, yeah. But having said that, I am very interested to hear how other people do it.
Indeed. Emma.
Do you know, I'm pleased to get it over with.
I'm quite envious of you.
Yes, I bet.
Yes.
Well, let's see what Emma does with it then. Is it filling you with horror as well?
More so as time goes on, yeah. But I'm going to do it a bit differently just for the hell of it, because it's obviously a male part. So
I don't know. I think a giant can be a girl as well.
In panto?
I see no reason why not.
Yeah, I can imagine it could be.
Oh, well, I'll just give it... I'm just going to do it and we'll see what happens, shall we?
Okay.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I hear the sound of too much fun. Evil so greedy pay you must, or I will crush your bones to dust. Oh, greedy, I want my money. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Bring me some peasants to fill my tum. Fee, fi, fo, fame. I smell the blood of a Devon dame. I will make our dolly scream when I slap her on a scone with clotted cream.
Very good and completely different.
Sam, I think Emma approached that almost as if it were an audiobook.
Oh, do you think?
As opposed to a stage play.
Maybe I did.
But if you took that and really ramped up the sound of it, it could sound quite nice and threatening, even in a panto situation.
Yeah, totally.
You could definitely go down that route.
It's an area I'm more comfortable than the stand back and bellow it one.
Oh, well, I don't know what you mean. No.
I have a small studio also.
I think that's quite funny. I think we'd just explain to people listening that actually we just did a tiny little edit before Sam did hers, and we turned her gain right down.
Right down.
Because when we went through it kind of blew all the gaskets out. So, yeah. Two very different ways of doing it. I think the director of the show, Emma, probably would have gone... Now step back from your mic and try it bellowy.
Yeah. I fully expect that.
The thing is that what is slightly problematic about this script is that you are pulled down that road of having to do the rhythm, regardless of what you do with your voice. Yeah. That's what it does. Yeah. It's got those beats in it.
But that is panto anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, I'd love to see. I suspect I know what you're going to do.
I suspect you do. I mean, I had fun with this, and I
bet you did.
I think we did 4 sessions in the end, and we changed it slightly each time as the cast rehearsed with it.
Yeah.
So some of the words were changed, some of the emphasis was changed as the cast rehearsed with it, and I think we did our last set of recording probably a week before the show actually went on.
Yeah, I've done panto. Using with recordings on stage, playing against the recordings on stage, and you have to get the timings absolutely right to get the humour in, and so they do change over time. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I hear the sound of too much fun. Evil so greedy, pay you must, or I will crush your bones to dust. Oh, greedy, I want my money! Fee, fi, fo, fum, bring me some peasants to fill my tum. Fee, fi, fo, fame, I smell the blood of a Devon dame. I will make our Dolly scream when I slap her on a scone with clotted cream.
You were quite camp on the Devon Dame, mate.
More than likely.
More than likely. Yeah, you see that, and it's got that slow rhythm to it as well, I suppose. It's... I don't suppose you went to see it, did you?
I didn't in the end. No, it was down in Barnstaple, but I hear great things of it.
I liked the way that on Oh Greedy, your voice goes all kind of gravelly and...
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when you try and get that...
When you try
that
and roar.
Big. Yeah, exactly. The roaring of it. So that's been my latest transgression into panto.
How do you say that?
Well, it is worthwhile remembering that these are real scripts we've been working on. We have changed some of the names and some of the details to avoid copyright issues.
So, Emma, what have you brought along for us to read in terms of a script?
I brought along what I do day in, day out, which is announcements for London buses.
How many do you think you've done, Emma, over the years?
Well, I stopped counting at 40,000.
Wow.
Good Lord.
And I guesstimate probably around 70,000.
Good Lord.
That's in, how many years is that? 17 years. So, yeah, they keep knocking down buildings and changing bus routes and changing bus route names and things like that. So I get a steady trickle of them through. But then you get the big lumps. Suddenly you'll get the Olympics. There was a big lump to do for the Olympics for 2012. I did the Elizabeth line. That was thousands.
Yeah.
When I originally did it, I wasn't a voiceover. I didn't have my own studio or anything like that. And so I used to go down to Transport for London and record maybe once every few months.
Right.
But now, because I have my own studio, they're far more inclined to send me 10 announcements.
I bet they are, yeah.
Rather, rather come down to London, we've got 600 for you.
Yeah.
It's little bits and often nowadays.
Presumably, and this might be me being very naive here, presumably even when I'm listening to those announcements, they're taking bits from here and bits from there to create a whole. Am I right?
Not very often. The only point
Really?
they do on the buses, they will in that the numbers were all recorded. So if you go on a London bus, shortly before every stop, it will say the name of the stop. So like Oxford Circus or I think John Lewis even has one. John Lewis. But the bus routes are done separately. So they are the number 11, the word 2 and the destination. So 11 to Hammersmith. And they are quite broken up. So they're not sort of put together. So it's 11 to Hammersmith. It is actually 11 to Hammersmith.
Yes, those are the ones that I hear daily.
So they are broken up.
And of course, that's a question of making sure that the beginning of the next bit is at the same intonation every single time, presumably.
Yes. Though, you kind of, over years and years and years of doing it, and you do evolve a little bit.
Yeah.
And you have a quieter day and a slower day and a faster day. And so sometimes I listen to it and go, ooh. I remember very early on going on a bus ride and I was going to Transport for London and I wrote down every stop announcement I didn't like the recording of and walked in and went, and can we add these on the end?
Because it's similar in many ways to the Panto script. That's what I was fascinated by, because is there, or really that's the question really to you, is there a certain rhythm, a certain pace, a certain tonality that they are wanting from you every time?
So when we started this, and by saying we, I mean there was a bloke from Transport for London, Keith, me, and a producer in the studio. None of us had any experience of doing anything like this before.
What could possibly go wrong, Emma?
They'd chosen my voice because they'd tested 10 voices, and in the end they picked mine because they decided female because it's less intrusive, less bossy, generally less perceived as bossy. What they specifically wanted, or what they specifically didn't want, was a really overly jolly voice.
Right.
Because, and this is the story that was given to me, it said, imagine your girlfriend's dumped you last night, you get on the bus to work, and the voice goes, Oxford Circus! And you'd just be like, you'd want to kill, thump something or someone in the bus or, And so the whole idea was to keep it neutral, background, not going to wind people up. It's very rare to get a bus's announcement anywhere in. I mean, I had to go through script after script after script.
To get a long one.
To find one that wasn't just 5 words.
Fair enough. Interesting.
Yes, I bet.
Interesting. All right. Well, let me give it a go then, and let's see what happens. Right. Due to the closure of Wandsworth Bridge, this bus will terminate at Sands End Sainsbury's. For all bus stops south of Wandsworth Bridge to Clapham Junction, alight here. Walk down to the junction with King's Road, turn right, and walk to the eastbound stop named Edith Grove World's End for bus route 728.
Long sentences, aren't they?
That is a long sentence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's very rare on the buses to kind of go, well, go this way, turn right. It's a really odd one.
It was very definite. Let's put it like that. Yeah, it had a very definite feel to it. You adhered to all of the punctuation, all the things I say to people. Don't adhere to the punctuation. You adhered to all the punctuation.
There's barely any punctuation in it.
No, you're right, but there's actually more than you think, I suppose.
There feels like a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
But also, it's also written in a slightly clunky way.
Yeah. I hate the word alight. Why can't they say get off?
Oh, God, I say alight. I say alight so many times.
Well, I suppose it probably has a tendency potentially to sound a bit rude. Get off.
Oh.
Get off.
Get off now.
I don't know.
Get off now. Right. Okay, Sam. Let's see what you do with it.
Yes, let's indeed. Due to the closure of Wandsworth Bridge, this bus will terminate at Sands End Sainsbury's. For all bus stops south of Wandsworth Bridge to Clapham Junction, alight here, walk down to the junction with King's Road, turn right, and walk to the eastbound stop named Edith Grove World's End for bus route 728.
Interestingly, you adhered to the comma after alight here. You went up at light here. I very much put a full stop there.
You did.
And that changed it completely.
It did. Yeah. You're right. And I quite liked the going up on alight here.
I did.
There's not a lot you can do with it.
No, well, that's what's fascinating about it.
The whole thing is to try and make it not jazzy, not personality. And it's fun. It's a strange world to work in.
Are there any gaps on the Elizabeth line where you have to say mind the gap?
I have said mind the gap, but I'm not one of the, really famous, momentous mind the gap voices.
I do want to hear how you do this bus script, though.
Right, try and get into my bus's head now. Due to the closure of Wandsworth Bridge, this bus will terminate at Sands End Sainsbury's. For all bus stops south of Wandsworth Bridge to Clapham Junction, alight here, walk down to the junction with King's Road, turn right, and walk to the eastbound stop named Edith Grove World's End for bus route 728.
Do you know what I get from that, Sam? Warmth. Real warmth.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're, that's exactly what they obviously said to you, Emma, in terms of you're sitting on a bus. There's something really reassuring about it.
Yes. Which actually is no mean feat because,
exactly.
You've got to get this neutrality, which you got, but also, that warmth and that kind of...
it's like warmth
absolutely.
without being too warm.
Yes, exactly.
Over-friendly.
Yeah. And it's
a really fine line, isn't it, actually?
It is a fine line. And do you know what? I don't think it's anything I've ever really dwelled on too much.
Coming here and picking it apart is very different, isn't it?
Shall I tell you, the first time when they launched the buses, they launched the test. So they researched it for 6 weeks on the Route 149. They researched my voice and we did a big launch. The Evening Standard there and all that kind of thing. I was on Radio 4, you name it. And I was sitting on a bus with the then PR girl for Transport for London. And we're listening to it going round. And she said to me, do you know why they chose your voice? And I said, no idea. Why did they choose my voice? And she went, it's because you... And you could sense that she was looking for the word and desperate not to insult me.
Right.
And she went, it's because you were bland.
Oh, that...
Wow.
And and you kind of go... So I've dined out on that for years. I've dined out on being bland for years. But it is that... It's something in my bus's voice.
Also, you don't want people to be sitting there going, oh, God, I've heard that voice before. Where did I hear that before?
Yeah.
You've got to... Do you know what I mean? You've got to be able to just...
It's different from my normal voice. I don't talk like that. So maybe it's right that it's a sort of a little persona in my head.
Yeah.
That comes out just for buses. I don't know. I've never analysed it. I did it for years and years and years and years before I was told the story about, we don't want somebody to thump the window out because they're really annoyed with you being jolly. So it's something that I sort of created and I got it right without really thinking about what I was doing, and it worked for them and it worked for me, and we've just gone with it.
How do you say that?
Okay, here's the part of the show that we all love then. Kind of love. It's the wildcard section. So let's see if we can approach these scripts in a completely different way.
Yes, definitely. So, Emma, can you pick one of the scripts and give Mark something completely different?
Okay. Mark, script number 2.
Yeah, I thought you might. But how?
In the style...
of
a teenager who really does not care in the slightest little bit about it.
Okay. Real attitude.
Attitude and there's a certain syntax, isn't there?
Yeah. All right. Due to the closure of Wandsworth Bridge Light, this bus will terminate at Sands End Sainsbury's. For all bus stops south of Wandsworth Bridge Light to Clapham Junction, get off here, walk down to the junction with King's Road, turn right, and walk to the eastbound stop named Edith Grove's World End. Bus route 728, that's the one. All right?
That was really good.
I love the way you went up on Sainsbury's. That's a very millennial kind of thing, isn't it? That kind of like...
That is the millennial thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the way you kept checking as well, right? You got that right?
But
Edith who?
all the teenagers I talk to say like or right at the end of every 3 words.
Do they?
I'm going to go downstairs and monitor my teenager now.
Do
it.
It's difficult to do that.
The teenager thing.
Yeah, I think.
It is difficult. Because yes, exactly, because you're not the right...
I'm definitely not the right demographic. No.
You're not, but we spend so long caring about what we say, don't we?
Yeah.
That's our job, to care and get the message across. So to actually go, look, you just don't care about it, is really hard.
This is true. Emma, I'm going to get Sam to spin the wildcard generator and come up with one for you. So, Sam, put your finger on the button, spin it, do it. Tell me what you're going to do.
Okay, Mark.
Yep.
Spin the wheel. Okay, so Emma, I would like you to be a barista.
Right.
Serving someone they really fancy.
Okay.
They've come in for the umpteenth time and you really, really fancy them. And I would like you to do the first script.
As a barista, okay. Yeah. Okay. Fee fi fo fum. I hear the sound of too much fun. Latte, was it? Okay. Skinny. Okay. Evils are greedy. Pay, you must. Or I will crush your bones to dust. Oh, greedy. I want my money. Fee fi fo fum. Bring me some peasants to fill my tum. Fee fi fo fame. I smell the blood of a Devon dame. I will make our Dolly scream when I slap her on a scone with clotted cream.
Oh.
Nice. You gave them the coffee at the end of that, didn't
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to give him the coffee.
Yeah.
It was when you got to
No,
I
you
want
did.
my money. It was like, oh, there's the transaction taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. I want my money before I go any further. No, that was really sweet. I think I really enjoyed that. Did you imagine yourself there making the coffee and everything?
I was in Costa in Richmond,
Nice.
North Yorkshire, not Richmond, London.
Okay.
Yeah, a strange one when you know, it's a long time since I've flirted with anybody, so it was a kind of like, I can't really remember this.
You see, that kind of triggers me because I figure that every barista is flirting with me, but that's just their job, right?
I love the fact that you said that.
I just assume that they are.
I have never assumed that anybody would
Really?
flirt with me, so
okay,
that's very
that's just
interesting
me then.
that you say that.
Yeah, that's you. Definitely just you. Yeah.
Oh, good heavens. Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to spin the wheel for Sam now. Okay, Sam.
Heels.
As if you're someone that's really, really tired and you are just about to fall asleep, but you're just about getting the words out, but you're so tired you can barely cope.
Tired. Okay, a really tired person. Which one?
I think the bus script. I think script 2. I think works better for that, maybe.
Okay. Due to the closure of Wandsworth Bridge, this bus... Sorry. Oh, this bus will terminate at Sands End, Sainsbury's, or all bus stops south of... Oh, just a minute. Wandsworth Bridge to Clapham Junction, alight here. Walk down to the junction with King's Road. Oh, sorry. All right. Oh. Turn right. Walk to the eastbound stop named Edith Grove, World's End, for bus route 728.
I'm yawning now because you've set me off. Oh, it's funny. That whole repetitive yawning thing that's a really difficult thing to do, actually.
I find that once you do a yawn, then you can do lots more. Because you suddenly do. It's a bit like smiling. They always say, don't they, that smiling can, even if you're feeling really miserable, if you smile...
It's true.
Then your body is duped into thinking.
Absolutely.
So if you yawn, your body is duped into thinking it's tired and it kind of follows on. Emma,
what did you think of the yawning? Or are you still with us? Have you fallen asleep?
No, I'm still here. I'm trying to stop myself yawning. True. I liked the way that you sort of embodied it straight away, the tiredness.
Yes.
You were like, you obviously, it's like you physically took that on board. It wasn't just the voice. It was like the whole body was in that.
Yep.
Oh, gosh, I'm actually
Sorry.
yawning now.
Yawning and stretching. It's like, oh, heavens.
And I did like the slapping yourself as well.
Yes, that was very funny.
Have you ever been in that position when you're driving?
When I'm driving, absolutely.
When you drive, you have to kind of slap and wind down a window and things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have, absolutely. Yeah. Well, the scripts are in the show notes, so why not have a go for fun in the comfort of your own booth?
Yes.
I need to make a disclaimer as well on the end.
Uh-oh, go on.
I have no idea if Wandsworth Bridge is still closed.
Oh, it probably
Could
is.
be.
Who knows?
I have no idea. So please don't go down to the stop named Edith Grove, World's End for bus route 728 because
Lovely.
it might actually be open.
Do not rely on this information. So, well, I was going to say that now it's question time, but I'm not going to do a question time because I think we've answered the question.
I'm now curious, what was the question?
Well, the question the question this week was, how do you breathe new life into repetitive scripts?
Which is what we've been doing and what we've been discussing, yeah.
I think we've been discussing it all the way through, so I don't necessarily think we need to discuss that.
And we've had a fascinating time finding out about the 70,000 bus prompts and the history behind. Who knew there was that much history behind it? It's amazing.
I know. Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you.
No, thank you, both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
An eye-opener.
Oh.
I like things that push me out of my comfort zone, and Script 1 certainly did.
Yeah, selfie, five.
It was lovely. It was lovely. It was lovely having you here. Shall we put all of Emma's details in the show notes so that people can find you? And then who knows, another bus company might come along.
I do
exactly.
other bus companies. There are other bus companies, not just Transport for London. I do some up and down the country. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm glad you said another bus company because I was worried that you were going to say a Panto might come along.
Well, you never know.
I think I'm past those days.
If you enjoyed listening, we would love you to write a review on Apple Podcasts. Go on. It's Christmas time. Go on.
Yeah, it's like a gift to us.
Yes, exactly.
And in fact, Sam, next week is our special Christmas episode.
Yes, you're right.
Just before the big day. I might bring Santa out for it, you never know.
Oh, get your Santa out. And anyway, that's
You
it.
made that sound rude.
You did.
Sorry. Yes, you're waving your Santa at me. Right, we'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest where we will be asking in a very festive way, how do you say that?
Do you say that?
How do you say that?